What's on, ladies and gentlemen? My name's Ross, I like games, and today it is definitely time to check in with that PSA Luffy card and see what is going on with the price of that PSA Luffy card. And look, you know by now, if you've been following this channel at all, you know this is a very special card to me. The lovely folks at PSA very kindly let me have the exclusive worldwide reveal. It was amazing. And then I believe I was the first person in the world outside of PSA to actually get this card. It was awesome. I was frankly delighted. But it's getting a little bit awkward. You see, the deal is that this card was made available as a gift when you subscribe to the PSA magazine, which I know some people are annoyed with, and I get that. But I think it's also worth remembering we probably don't get this card unless it is to try and promote the magazine, because I think the entire point of the card is, hey, let's promote the magazine. This card is a great way to do so. So they do this magazine and they send out the card with it, and I know an awful lot of people subscribe just to get the card, and I'll be perfectly blunt with you. PSA obviously hooked me up with the card, I need to be honest about that. When they asked me to do the reveal, my first question was, are you going to send me the card? These things are important. But it's an amazing card, one of the coolest One Piece cards yet. I 100% would have subscribed to the magazine. And generally speaking, subscribing to the magazine basically cost about $150. That's what most people paid for the subscription, which also got them the card. And that's very important, because we can kind of use that as a bit of a baseline here. Pay $150 to subscribe to the magazine, but really for a lot of people, let's not pretend, for a lot of people what they were really doing here was just buying the card for $150, and then hey, the magazine's going to appear as well. There were actually serialized magazines, etc. I don't think we've really got time to get into, but yeah, that was cool, right? People enjoyed this. Bit annoying that you had to subscribe, I get it, but the fact that that the card was just readily available, and I think that's pretty gosh darned important. The card was readily available, and that means that, it shipped worldwide. Everybody could get it. And that's very, very important. Because in theory, that means that everybody could just pay $150 for the year to get the card, and the card should never be worth more than $150, because everybody that's willing to pay $150 for the card should be willing to subscribe to get the card. Now, I know that's not actually a perfect analogy, because there are going to be people that were too late or people that really didn't want to subscribe for various reasons. So I know that's not actually a perfect analogy, but let's just roll with it for the time being. In theory, this is available with a $150 subscription, ergo the baseline should be $150. It's not. If we go and have a look at TCG Player right now, they've got the price as, well, they've got the market price around at $180, but actually $180 isn't really terribly realistic at this point. It's not really a $180 card. You can see it started at about $240, then it dropped right down to somewhere in the region of about $125, and now it's gone back up to about $180, which you will notice is more than $150. But actually, that's not great either. If we look at the last few sales, we don't often do this where we go for a lot of sales, but I think it's important here. You can see there's a bit of a seed change. Over the past kind of 3 days, we've seen it at an average of about $200. There's plenty that have been at about the 180 mark, but then there's also some that have been creeping over, and the average is actually a bit less than 200, but it's trending at around about a $200 card. You'll notice the last 4 sales are all over 200. They're all the ones on the 31st. So I think it's fair to say that the days of 180 are actually behind us. I know it says 180 there, but I just don't think it's actually going to end up being a $180 card. I think the days of $180 are basically gone, which is, shall we say, less than ideal. And certainly at the moment, a lot of the sales, pretty much all the sales, are coming from the US. Now, I suspect that's because a lot of the international people might not have gotten theirs yet, And I did check with PSA at the time, and they did tell me it was going to be, you could subscribe from anywhere to get this card. As a side note, obviously the subscription you can still subscribe to the magazine, but you're not getting the one-piece issue with the card. That time has long passed. So if we go and have a look at eBay in the US, try and see what they're looking at in terms of a price, is it actually any cheaper? No, it's not. There's 2 listings we're really seeing on eBay at the moment, 2 that come to the top. There are a few others, but they're all about the same. And it's generally about $250 sold with the magazine. That's generally what we're seeing here. People are listing it with the magazine for $250. Obviously, the regular magazine, the serialized magazines are going to be more. We're really worried about the card more than the magazine here. It's just interesting to note that people are generally not selling the card. Like on TCG Player, obviously, because it's a card-selling platform. But over on eBay, it's generally being sold with the magazine. And there's 13 people watching the cheaper of those 2 listings. I don't think that's a coincidence. Yeah, but all right, Wassy, over on eBay, people can charge whatever they want. Doesn't mean people are actually paying this. Excellent point. If we have a look, recent sales are all around the $200 mark. $190, $200, and bid up to $213. Now, this one is interesting. The $190 and the $200 were listed at that, and you'll notice they're not best offer accepted. A lot of the time when I'm showing you these eBay listings, I'm going, well, it was $200, but best offer accepted, so it was a little bit lower. This card is not selling with offers. And I'm going around having a look, and yes, there are a couple, obviously, but the vast majority of these aren't selling with offers. They are actually selling at what they're listed at. And that means that the ones that are selling with offers are generally people that are going for a quick sale, whereas people are just holding on and selling for what they listed it for. The one here that was actually bid went up to $213, and I do think that's very, very relevant. As a side note, I know the shipping looks expensive. I'm looking at US eBay from the UK, so that's the shipping to me in the UK. Don't worry about the shipping. So it is about a $200 card, despite the fact that you could have just paid $150 for the subscription. And I know that's not possible for everyone. We've acknowledged that. Over in Japan, it's even more. If we go and have a look at Mercari, we can see the listings here are generally in the range of £270. Mercari has basically gone, oh, you're in the UK, let's list it in pounds. I really wish they wouldn't. Frankly, I'd much rather work in yen because it's a Japanese site and I look at this yen stuff a lot, and frankly, I'm more comfortable working in yen when it comes to Japanese products. But £270, for those of you that don't work in pounds, equates to $345. That's what we got for listings on Mercari at the moment. Magazine and card, about $345. This is getting a little bit silly. This card is absolutely blowing up. And here's the thing. There are, I believe there's still a bunch of people that haven't had this delivered to them, especially in other countries. But the period for this is gone. It's not like in 2 weeks' time, PSA are going to come back and be like, here's another bunch of them. And look, I don't know. I don't have the inside track, and I could ask PSA. I've got their email, but I don't think they tell me. But I would not expect this to ever come back. And here's the reason. PSA have clearly gone, we have this magazine. We want people to subscribe. We've gone and spoken to Bandai. They have given us this card that we can use to help sell the magazine. If they make this available anywhere else, they can never, ever, ever do another promotion like this ever again. Because if they ever try doing a promotion like this ever again, people are going to go, we're not falling for that again. Last time you said it was an exclusive Luffy card, but you made it available elsewhere. We're not falling for that. We're not subscribing to the magazine. Getting Bandai to let them have an exclusive One Piece card, make no mistake about it, is a very big deal. TCG companies do not often do this. If they did, everyone would do this. The fact that it's a leader card, it's textured, it's the first card with all the straw hats on. This card is a very big deal. PSA landing this as a when you subscribe to our magazine bonus is huge. And it worked. I am willing to bet, I don't have numbers, obviously, but I'm pretty sure that it has really increased their subscriber numbers. If they make this card available anywhere else, no promotion they ever run for their magazine will ever be taken seriously ever again, because people will go, I'm not falling for that, I'm going to wait. That means that this card is overwhelmingly unlikely to never be made available again. Which means, with the exception of a few people, still getting their deliveries through, this card is gone. So don't expect the price of this to go down, because the supply, like I say, I think there's still a bunch that haven't been delivered. Supply will get a little bit better, but this is a cool card. It's going to be in demand, and this is going to end up being one of those One Piece cards that just doesn't end up coming back, and round we go. This is a pretty big deal. I've told you about it, so now it's over to you guys. Did you pick up this card when you had the opportunity? Were you interested? Do you have any regrets? Let me know in the comment section. Get us! Be nice. And then make sure you like this video, subscribe to this channel, follow me on Twitter at TheWasi. That's where we talk about One Piece and a whole bunch of other card games. And please do consider checking out patreon.com/PTCG Radio, where you can support the channel, get some bonus podcasts, and all kinds of fun things. But by far the most important thing, as always, look after yourselves till next time, would ya? Thank you very much for watching. My name's Ross, and you've been watching Wasi Plays.